Hey, and welcome to everyone. This is my first podcast episode. I'd like to try a knitting podcast. And in the last month, I've seen more and more knitters and knitting podcasts. Before, I don't even know that it's a thing, or I mean, it isn't a podcast, it's maybe some kind of video podcast, but it's nice to see other people or creative people around the world and in the real world. I have some knitting friends and my sister who also knits, so I can chat and talk about knitting stuff, but I think there's a bigger community I'd like to share my stuff and my creative outcome with. And so we are here. My name is Makeba and I am from the north of Germany, from Hamburg. And today it's the first day in the last few weeks we have some sun, so there on my balcony I have my last finished object, I think it's the last one, flat dry, and I hope it's some I will talk later about it. And it's nice. The sun is really nice. I would like to have an traditional or normal way of podcast. So first some finished objects, then my works in progress, and then my knitting plans. I will have some acquisitions and I'd like to share the acquisitions with you, but I'm not that person who buys very often much yarn. I can't afford it, and so I'm a knitter who knits very often for other people. So there are some new yarn in my stash, but it's not really my yarn, so some other people or friends bought it, but I will show it to you. And learned knitting in school. I think I was 6 years old, and it's a long time. But in the last 5 years I've started to knit garments, so I have knitted my first sweater and I think this was the moment I realized that I can make my own garments and not only socks and accessories. I think that's not that traditional in the online knitting community. I'm knitting, well, I have knitted in the last years some traditional Icelandic sweaters. So I will insert pictures. I'd like to see pictures and names of the patterns and garments other podcasters talk about, and I think more pictures and more informations is every time better than less. And so I will insert you some pictures of my Icelandic sweaters, but you can also have a look on my Instagram page. I will write all informations in the description box. Yeah, but I think it's not that traditional to do a lot of color work and rustic wool. I'm not that sensitive to wool, so I can wear much more rustic yarns than other people, but I don't, yeah, it's a personal thing, and yeah, every yarn and every person is their different sensitive. Yeah, sorry, sometimes I have to look there and there's a balcony, but it's only I don't know where to look, so I will look to the camera, but sometimes maybe I will look around. And here are my notes for the podcast, and so sometimes I have to look at my notes. I will start with my finished objects, and I've changed before I started the podcast. I thought maybe it's nice to wear something I have knitted and not a store-bought sweater. It was a hoodie, nothing knitted, but store-bought. And this is my holiday knit from my last vacation, and it's the field sweater. I think there are lots of patterns named field or field sweater out there, but this is pattern by Helga Isaiah, and yeah, it's knitted on in rounds, and on the right side, so the inside is the right side with the knit stitches, and the outside is the side with the purl stitches. And so I will come some here, but maybe I insert some pictures. The 4 raglan sorry, so you can see here the 4 raglan stitches, and these are knitted, these are knit stitches, and so the rest of the sweater is purled. And I have done another collar. I folded and sewed it in, and did a 2-colored one with a tiny light stripe, and I think the ribbing, I don't know, maybe I have done some modifications in the ribbing at the body, but I've wrote it on my Ravelry page if you're interested. It's not that special, the pattern, I have to say. It was very nice. So I was in Latvia for a few weeks, and yeah, like before I was there, I thought, oh, I'd like to buy some Latvian wool, and my first stop after on the first day at the city, so after it we were on the nature part of Latvia. The first day I was in Latvia, I went to a wool store and bought some Latvian wool, and I think you never heard the company. I don't know how to pronounce it, Limbazu Tīne, and it's a very thin but 100% woolly yarn. And then I looked on Ravelry for some patterns for the same gauge, but on the Latvian wool there wasn't that much information, so only a roundabout meterage per 100 grams. And yeah, first I only bought one of the dark blue skeins and one light green, but I have to go but I went back to the store, and after I looked at the pattern, and yeah, I have done some math, and I don't know so now I don't know what I have done. I only used half of the wool I've bought, so maybe the meterage was that different, but maybe I have done something. Yeah, but it's a warm sweater, but it's very light, so it's 100% wool, but very thin. I'm very tight knitter, so mostly I have to go one size up, so from a 2.5 millimeter to a 3.5 millimeter needle. With this project I've swatched, and it's a very different wool than the Isaiah yarn. I don't know which yarn was recommended in the pattern, but some Isaiah yarn. And I swatched, and with a 3.5 millimeter needle my swatch worked very well, and so I don't know what I've done wrong with the math and the calculation of the meterage before about the wool, but now I have some more nice Latvian wool, and I don't know if you can see it, but I have 3 different colors. So it's a dark blue, it's a light green, and a very light green, so maybe it's some cold green beige yarn. Yeah, and I think I will knit a cushion out of it, but now I have no time for this project, but it's my stash now, the Latvian wool, and yeah, I don't know, maybe it's all. It's rustic yarn, but while washing and blocking it went very soft. Yeah, it's very nice, so I can wear it next to skin and it doesn't itch. Yeah, it's nice. I have also, like all the knitting podcast persons out there, nice cups. But yeah, it's not that I only have nice cups since I know the knitting podcast community. Yeah, I'm really into ceramics. I've done some self-made, but I'd like to have nice and beautiful ceramics, and yeah, mostly cups. Maybe sometimes I will insert you a picture of my cupboard. I don't know, is it a cupboard? I think it's a cupboard. They only for my cups. Yeah, but I will continue to my finished objects, and I don't have, yeah, most of my finished objects I don't have any more. So I have knitted some Penelope Cialets or kerchiefs. It's a free pattern, nice and easy pattern. It's very short, but there is a mistake in the pattern. I haven't contacted the designer, and it's in the lace work. At some point in the beginning of the lace work, there's a mistake about the amount of stitches, but I figured it out, and it's not that problematic. Yeah, it's a pattern by Linnea Niemann, and it's a free pattern, and I will link all the patterns or the links to the Ravelry accounts or patterns in the description box. And I've knitted 3 of the cialets and 1 in the woolen twine linen in the color work Golden Hour. I will insert you a picture, and it's the scrappy project. I have knitted a Darjeeling blouse by Trust the Mojo out of the linen, and I thought, oh, I have some wool left, and it would be very nice to have accessorize, but I thought, oh, some mittens, or it's not that nice to have for a summer knit, for a blouse, a top, or it's a kind of tee, some mittens or something else. So the kerchief is a nice summer accessorize. Yeah, and then I've knitted 2 more. One for my friend. It's out of 2 strands, 1 strand of 100% cotton and 1 strand of 100% linen. I've got in Riga in Latvia from the Woolly company. I think some people will have heard about them. You can order online, and I think it's Italian wool. Yeah, it's very nice, and you buy the wool on cones, so like this one, and you can buy it per meter or per grams. And yeah, I have bought some white for my friend, and yeah, so I will insert a picture of the white one, and the third one I've knitted is for her niece. She is, I think, 2 years old, and I thought it would be very nice to match for them, and yeah, she gifted it to her, and yeah, she wears it around her neck or around the head. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah. Then I've told you about my Darjeeling blouse, and I've knitted for the friend I was with in Latvia a Darjeeling top. So it's another pattern, and I think it's not that nice that there are 2 different patterns. So the whole first part of the pattern is the same like the Darjeeling blouse. I know that the designers have to get some money, or their money, with these patterns, but if they are that similar, yeah, I think, yeah, I've bought both of them, but I thought if there are 2 different patterns out there, might be a bigger difference, but it isn't. But it's a nice pattern, and I'd like to knit it. It's with checklists for every size, and I'd never worked with some kind of checklists before, but it's very easy, and you don't have to count the rows back and look at them, or have lots of markers in the project. So it's nice with the checklists, and maybe it's a kind of advanced knit, but it's very nice or easy to follow the pattern, and the outcome is very nice. And so I've knitted a Darjeeling top out of the Merino cotton blend from Knitting for Olive in the colorway dark ocker. And I think I don't have the grams, but it's I only needed 2 and a little bit of the 3rd skeins from the Knitting for Olive yarn. So for the size 4, I think it's 4/L, so the large size in the long version. So the pattern have 3 versions of length, and this is the longest version, the long version, in the size 4. And yeah, I can't show you because my last finished object, oh no, I have 2 more. Yeah, I can't show you the one of the last finished objects because I told you before it's on the balcony, and dries there, and it's another Darjeeling blouse, and I've finished it 2 days ago, I think, in the evening, and yesterday I washed it, and now yeah, it dries there out in the sun, and it's knitted out of the linen, not linen, it's Line by Sandnes yarn, and in the colorway Kitt. And for this one it's also the size 4, the large size, and the long version, but the blouse have some arms, some little, yeah, it's not that much, but you have you need some more wool than the top. And I have used 5.5 skeins of the Line kit. I've bought the yarn in my local yarn store right before my right before I leave to Latvia, and so I thought, oh, it's a nice project, and for my holidays. Most of the time, when I plan my knits, I bring less wool than I need. So I've knitted the blouse in the first days, and yeah, I can't finish it. I'd like to finish it, but I haven't enough wool. I thought for the one with the woolen twine linen blend, I've needed 150 or 170 grams, and so I've yeah, bought 200 grams from the Line kit, and yeah, I needed much more, so 1 whole and 1/2 skein more than I thought. But yeah, it was a little mess to get this, because my local yarn store, I've wrote them an email but they haven't the same dye lot, and they said to me that the Kitt colorway looks often very variegated to the last dye, or the dye lots look different. And yeah, I've wrote some emails to all Hamburger yarn stores, but no one had the same dye lot like me. But at the Woll in Berlin, it's a wool store in Berlin, and they have a really great and big online store, and I've wrote them an email, and they said, oh yes, because of course we have some more in the same dye lot. And yeah, then I've ordered there the last 2 skeins for my Darjeeling blouse. So maybe in the next podcast episode I will wear my new Darjeeling blouse, and I will insert you some pictures, but I can't show it to you. And then now the last finished object, I have some socks, some scrappy socks. I don't even know what yarn. It's a Schoppelwolle. It's a German brand, and they, yeah, it's a nice German brand, and you can get the wool in the Milis, in my local yarn store. It's the name of the store, but it's in the same it's my person, the local yarn store here in Hamburg. It's a very nice store, and they are very nice people. Yeah, and for the tip or the toe, I've used some scrappy yarn. I've knitted a sweater for my nephew out of it, but I don't know, it's only a little bit, so now it's used up a little bit. It was only a little bit left. And these are the Woodland socks. It's also a free pattern, and I will insert you a picture. It's not that easy to get nice pictures, because the lace work is in the front, and on the sock blockers they dry that flat, so you can only see the half of the lace work. So I will try to show you some more. Yeah, it's a kind of leaves, maybe some leaves. It's an easy and nice pattern, and I'd like, maybe it's a lace work pattern for some variegated yarns. So this is a, yeah, okay, 2 color work, but most of the sock is 1 color, and so the lace work is only in 1 color, and it's also very nice, but I think you can also use some variegated yarns, or some hand-dyed yarns or something. I don't have any hand-dyed variegated yarns, only the hand-dyed and natural dyed yarns by Woolen Twine, but they are only 1 colored. Yeah, I don't know if I will keep them. I have a lot of woolly socks, and I wear them very often, but I don't need any more. But I'd like to knit socks, so for these ones I don't have an idea who would like to wear them. So it's the summer, it's not that woolly sock time for the most of the people, but I have one friend who always likes to get some socks made by me, so maybe he will get this one, and I will come to my works in progresses, and it's also a sock project, and I think these one I will gift them to my best friend, so maybe he will get 2 pairs of socks, and it's very easy to knit socks for him, so I think he has the same size like me, so yeah, I can test the socks on my feet and they will fit him. Yeah, these are also some Schoppelwolle socks, and without a pattern, so I needed some project for the way, for the go, for my office, and for on the weekends, the last weekend and the next weekend, I will do some camping with some fire, so it smells like some fire. It smells like fire, or I don't know how to explain it, but I think you will know what I mean. And so I don't want to take for the trips my sweater works in progresses with me, and so I bought some new wool for some socks. It's a yeah, it's my my favorite sock wool, the Schoppelwolle, and also this colorway. I don't know, it's maybe it's a kind of boring. It's a some kind of heathered blue. It's, I think, the colorway named Jeans, and but it's very dark, so I don't know if you, yeah, I think this is the color, the right color. Yeah. Yeah, so I needed some project I can wash after I have finished it, and so I have done some new socks. This is my first work in progress, and then I will come to a small one. This is the Hipster Hue by Petit Knit, and it's the size for the, I think, the second size for the children, and it's for my nephew. And yeah, I don't have a hurry to finish it, so it's a project, yeah, yeah, it's not, I think I haven't knitted a whole week on it, but it's a very fast knit. It's also out of some Latvian wool, but it's a blend out of wool and linen, and there wasn't I don't know, it's an etiquette or something with the informations. I don't have any information about the yarn, but it's very soft and it's a nice yellow colorway. I think for the kids it's a nice one, so it isn't itchy, and yeah, it's not that dark. I think dark colors aren't that nice for kids. Yeah, okay. Then I will come to the bigger ones of my works in progresses. I have 2 more left, and the first one is also one of the project I don't bought the yarn for. So it's a project for the sister of one of my best friends, and I have knitted her a jacket or a kind of cardigan in the past, and her sister said she would like to have also the same one. I talked to her and asked her if we will change some color, and then she told me that she likes the green, maybe a green color, and so we looked at the Lettlopi colors, and I think now we have a very nice color combination. It's the pink heather with a white and the oh, I don't know the colorway. I will insert it. It's a green one. It's a very heathered one. I don't know if you can see some of the left. No. Yeah. And it's very nice. And today I've knitted the sleeve. And the body is also worked in the round, so I've finished the body too. It's not that easy to show. With some pearls here, some pearl stitches, and on this pearl stitches you will sew and stick the cardigan, and after it you will add a bottom band and the collar too, on the collar too. So now I have to knit this one and to finish, and the second one, and then I can join in the round and do the color work. I'd like to do color works much. It's very nice, it's a fun knit, and it's a bottom up construction. I know it's not that the most people don't like it, but I've started to knit with or garments or sweaters with a, yeah, I think the most of the Icelandic or traditional Icelandic sweaters are knitted bottom up. There isn't a real reason, because it's color work. It's not necessary to knit bottom up, and the yoke is a rounded yoke and collar, so not a raglan construction. I don't know, I think there is no reason, like some lace works, or also, yeah, you have to do bottom up, but yeah, but it's nice. And when you join the sleeves and the body together and do the yoke, it's the most the yoke is the part with the most the biggest part of the color work. Yeah. And oh, I haven't mentioned the pattern. It's a Warsaw sweater by ístex. There's a name, but Vidis and I don't know even how to pronounce the second name. So it's published by ístex, so the brand, the Icelandic brand. And I've worked it's not a ribbing, it's a seat stitch in the beginning of the body and also of this on the sleeves with 4mm needles, and the rest of the cardigan I've worked on 5mm needles. So I've told you before, I'm a tight knitter, so I think the pattern calls for 4 or 4.5mm needles. Yeah, and I will show you too. I have some really nice stitch markers. This one is a little cup, a teacup. And I've bought them by Bertha and Maia. It's an Etsy shop, a local Etsy shop to me, and yeah, I will link it down. I've ordered sometimes, so I think twice in the last month, some stitch markers. They are really nice. And my last, but I think maybe some kind of my favorite work in progress, but on hold, because I have to finish the color work Icelandic sweater first, and with this one I'm not in a hurry, so I will put it on a rest, or take a break on it. It's I call it my Troja project. I don't know if it's a common thing, the Troja. It's a fisherman thing. So the traditional way of Troja, it's a zipper sweater, and okay, the pattern is the zipper sweater by Petit Knit, and in the dark blue, and in the traditional way out of a wool blend or 100% wool. This is also 100% wool, not that 100%. I've knitted this with 4 strands. So 3 strands of 100% merino and 1 strand of mohair. And this is also wool from the Woolly Company. And I've bought it on sale in the sales section in Riga. And it's very nice fabric. It's that soft and some kind of squishy. It's very, very soft. I've done, you will work top down, and you start the construction island. That is, I don't talk much about the pattern because you can buy the pattern if you like to know more about it, but it's a twisted rib, and I've done some twisted ribs before, but I haven't seen that much impact since I've knitted this. It's very nice. I think the wool is perfect, and the pattern or the construction is very nice for it. So this isn't a project for me, but it's a gift knit, so I bought the wool and I will gift this sweater to my best friend, and I hope I will finish it in the next month, or the next month, but I will update you if I have done some more progress. I think we are now in the end of the works in progresses. I think it's a very long podcast episode, but I like the podcast around 40 minutes or something like this. So I've in the last weeks I've watched Hannah G Knits podcast, and I like them very much, and it's a weekly update, but it's very short, so every time it's already finished. So maybe, I don't know how often I will do a podcast episode, but I think it's nice to have some stuff to talk about, and maybe there will be some longer episodes. But I have some plans, and I told you before, I normally haven't that much acquisitions, but because of my trip to Latvia, I have some acquisitions, and it matches with my plans. So sometimes, but no, I don't remember the last time, but I think sometimes. I also get some wool without a plan, but mostly I have a plan, or I only buy the wool if I have a plan, or I will have a plan. And I will have to look how it will work with a zipper sweater for my friend. But I have some wool, some rust color. This is 100% Merino, and it's another company with some Italian wool, but it's not woolly. Craftsmind it calls. And so this is it's merino with cashmere and wool, and this is a mohair strand, but I think it's not silk, it's with a viscose or polyamide. So I think it's a nice color, and I think I'd like to have a zipper sweater out of it. And my friend bought some green wool. Sorry, I have to arrange these two cones. I don't know about the color, but I think these are the colors, or the color looks very similar on the screen, like in reality. And this is a tweedy yarn with some dark blue, black, and some different brown sprinkles. And this is also the same mohair with some plastic. I don't know, maybe it's a polyamide or viscose. Yeah, and this is a tweed out of 100% merino. And out of this green yarn, I have to gauge swatch, and I have to check the pattern. My friend bought the pattern already, but I don't have a look on it. I'd like to knit the Favo. It named Favo sweater by Fiber Tales. Fiber Tales is one of my favorite podcaster, and it's a very nice pattern, and I thought some months already about the pattern and the wool. I can Fiber Tales is one of my favorite podcasters, and she designs patterns, and the Favo sweater is a very nice, it looks very nice, but I have to look about the gauge, and it's the green is more than a dark color, and I have to look if the pattern will come out that nice like hers, or I think these are my knitting plans. I have some, but I haven't worked on it. I've designed a chart for a headband for my nieces, but it's a later on project, and I will show you in one of the next episodes, if there will be a next one, but I hope. I first have to look how I manage the cutting process and the video and the editing part of filming or podcasting, and then I have to look how much time I have to, for my knit work. Yeah, I think this is all I can told you about my last few weeks. I think the last month of knitting, and I hope you enjoyed it, to listen and look to my kind of podcast. And if you have some questions about something or some tips about podcasting, please write some comments or write me on Instagram. And bye bye.